In this video, I'll be going over how to send and receive Grin with a Trezor Safe 3 hardware wallet. This requires installing an unofficial firmware onto my hardware wallet, so I'll start by going to this GitHub page to download the unofficial firmware. I'll go to its releases, and I'll download the newest Trezor Safe 3 firmware that includes Grin support. Trezor Safe 3 hardware wallets require having their bootloader unlocked before an unofficial firmware can be installed on them, so I'll click on this link to unlock my hardware wallet's bootloader. From here, I can unlock my hardware wallet's bootloader by following the provided instructions. A brief warning: unlocking your hardware wallet's bootloader is a permanent process that can't be undone, and your hardware wallet will no longer pass Trezor's device check after you do it. So in order to use your hardware wallet with Trezor Suite after its bootloader has been unlocked, you'll have to disable the device check by clicking on the gear, going to the device section, and choosing to turn off device check. So I'll follow the provided instructions to unlock my hardware wallet's bootloader. I'll power on my hardware wallet with both buttons held down. Then I'll choose to install a firmware on it. And finally, I'll click the Unlock Bootloader button and select my hardware wallet when prompted. I'll confirm the operation on my hardware wallet to finish unlocking its bootloader. Then I'll reboot my hardware wallet so that I can proceed with installing the unofficial firmware onto it. I'll be using Trezor Suite to install the firmware onto my hardware wallet, so I'll go to Trezor's website and I'll download Trezor Suite. Then I'll skip ahead to once Trezor Suite is installed and opened. Now that I'm in Trezor Suite, I can install the unofficial firmware onto my hardware wallet by clicking on the Settings option, going to the Device section, and choosing to install a custom firmware. I'll choose to install the firmware that I downloaded, and continue through the prompts to proceed. This process does wipe your hardware wallet, so make sure that you have your recovery seed backed up before continuing. Once the firmware is finished being installed, I'll close and reopen Trezor Suite to set up my hardware wallet with my recovery seed. I'll proceed through the prompts to set up my hardware wallet, and I'll skip ahead to once that's completed. Now that my hardware wallet is all set up, I'm done using Trezor Suite, so I'll close it out, and I'll go to the Grin version of the MWC web wallet. You can find a link to it in this video's description. I'll proceed through the prompts and create my account. From here, I can add my hardware wallet by clicking on the hardware button. I'll choose my Trezor hardware wallet and approve exporting the root public key on my device. Once that's done, the hardware wallet will show up in my list of wallets and start syncing. I'll skip ahead to once it's done syncing, then I'll send some Grin to it. I have TradeOgre open with some Grin that I can send. I'll click the withdraw option and enter the amount to withdraw. Then I'll click the withdraw button and enter my two-factor authentication code to proceed. I'll copy the transaction slate pack and save it to a file. Then I'll choose to receive that file as a payment in the web wallet. I'll be prompted to approve receiving the transaction on my hardware wallet. I'll verify the transaction's details on my hardware wallet and approve receiving the transaction. I'll receive a response file from the web wallet that I'll open and paste its contents into TradeOgre to finish receiving the payment. In TradeOgre, I can see the transaction's details. And in the web wallet, I can also see the transaction's details. Now I'll send some Grin from the web wallet back to TradeOgre. By default, the web wallet requires that a UTXO has 10 confirmations before it can be spent, so I'll skip ahead to once this Grin is spendable. To send Grin from the web wallet, I'll go back and click on the Send Payment button. I'll enter the amount to send and choose to send as file, since TradeOgre only supports receiving payments as files. Then I'll click the Send button and enter my password to proceed. I'll receive a transaction file from the web wallet that I'll need to open and paste its contents into TradeOgre. In TradeOgre, I'll choose to deposit Grin, and I'll enter the transaction file's contents. I'll copy the response from TradeOgre and save it to a file. Then I'll open that file in the web wallet. I'll be prompted to approve sending the transaction on my hardware wallet. I'll verify the transaction's details on my hardware wallet and approve sending the transaction to finish sending the payment. I can see the transaction's details in TradeOgre, and I can see the transaction's details in the web wallet. And that's how to send and receive Grin with a Trezor Safe 3 hardware wallet.